Hey guys, what's up? Shin0525 coming at you with another episode. So today's video I want to talk about game length, and basically just how long I think video games should be. And because there's a kind of a weird discussion about game length now, where I've noticed if a game is too short, that is a huge strike against it with modern audiences now. So when people buy a game, they kind of gauge they basically take the price tag of the game and then directly compare it to how many hours the game is. So if you're buying a normal game for $70 now, if it's under 10 hours, they usually think the modern consensus is you're getting ripped off. A game shouldn't cost $70 and only be 10 hours in length. And because if you went back to the PlayStation 2 time, that was generally the length of your average game. They were around 10 to 15, maybe even 20 hours, but your average game was no more than 20 hours. 20 hours was pushing it. Some RPGs out there like Kingdom Hearts, or for Kingdom Hearts for example, went to 40 hours, but I remember when I was playing on the PlayStation 2 back in the day, Kingdom Hearts was a really long fucking game to me. But when you play, compared to the other games I was playing, I don't know, maybe Gungrave, or a Need for Speed game, or those games typically were a lot shorter, and the RPGs were around the 40 hours, where I was wow, that's super long. And I'm getting into a Digimon battle with Pandamon. But with that being said, nowadays, if a game isn't 40 or 50 hours, people are this game's just fucking terrible. And I hope people break that mindset. Because I recently just played a game called Granblue Fantasy Relink. And that is an action RPG game that is about 15 hours long. And I think that was the perfect length for that game. It was actually super refreshing just playing a really shorter AAA title. Because again, the game just cut to the chase. There was no fluff. It was just you had the main story. It spanned around 10 chapters, and each chapter you did significant plot progression, and you could just start from chapter 1 and just keep playing from chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, and just keep going on. And then when you beat the game, you can just go back to any chapter you want and just play through it again. But again, the whole length of the game was 15 hours. And it was just so refreshing. I won the battle, by the way. It was just so refreshing playing a game like that. And by the time I finished it, I was so that was the perfect length. It was having a really good meal. It was just enough. I wasn't hungry. More hungry after playing it. I wasn't still hungry after playing it. I was just it was just enough to satisfy me. And it's just and I felt great because I started something and I finished something in about a week. And that was so good. Instead of playing and again, don't get me wrong, I do like longer games. One of my favorite longer games are these two right here. Trials of Cold Steel 1 and 2. I've actually played through and finished these games, but each one's about 70 hours long, and it's taken me when I was playing these two, it took me about a year and a half to beat each one. Because it's so hard for me to just stick to a 70-hour game start to finish. This is the only game I'm playing. So again, I really do appreciate the shorter games, and I think more people need to adopt that philosophy. Stop looking at game length in just sheer number of hours and look at the quality of those hours. Granblue Fantasy Relink was a blast from the first hour to the last hour. I had no complaints. It was a fantastic experience. But then you play longer games that are just like Assassin's Creed, for example. The newer Assassin's Creed games, there is so much fucking fluff in those games. It's yeah, they're about 40, 50, 60. Some of them are 100 hours. I think Assassin's Creed, I think the Egyptian one's super long or something. But there are these long RPGs now, and it's just with a bunch of boring shit in there that you aren't happy from the first hour to the last hour. So it's just Me personally, I would rather play a shorter, more focused, better paced game than a longer, drawn out game. I feel like I would get my money's worth with the shorter game. Like, just respecting my time, just show me all the good parts, and like, just, again, respecting my time as like a player. So yeah, I honestly love shorter games, and as I'm getting older, I think shorter games are even better. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Let me know if you're wrong. Let me know if you think it's okay to pay $70 for like a 15-hour game, even though that 15-hour game is a blast for each second of it. Or would you be like, no, that's still too short. That like if I'm paying full price for a game, it should be at least 40 hours. But it's like, yeah, but like, what if those, like, the majority of those 40 hours is just kind of like boring bullshit? So yeah, anyway, I would much rather play a more focused, complete, shorter game. And hopefully more people think that way too, because I think the game industry would benefit a lot more from having people like that. But yeah, anyway, that's my thoughts on the whole game length thing. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I'm Shin055. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. That really does help me out, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, thanks, bye. Later.